Hey,
Oh.
we're back. All right. Okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
I blacked out there for a second. What were you talking about? A diminished run?
Yeah, a diminished run. It's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's a little weird. So it's like
you
this.
know what I find? Anytime somebody says that, they always preface something very difficult by saying it's not the hardest thing in the world. So okay, what is it?
So we're gonna go on the E string, on the on that. But here, I'll play it real quick.
One of the thicker strings. I don't
Yes.
really. Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
So that's the riff, right? And then I alternate pick everything. But it basically, like, the weirdest thing about it is it just, when I usually do diminished stuff like that, that kind of thing.
I know that guy.
So, like, going back on, I always find that weird. So this one's on. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah.
Ah! How are you fingering it? Okay. The picking is weird.
It is, yeah.
If I'm...
And the way I'm picking it too, I'm going down, up, down, up, down.
So you're not alternate picking it, strictly?
Like, yeah, I am, yeah.
So it's down, up, down, up, down, up?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Ah,
Yeah, there
my
you go.
God, that
You got
sucks.
it, yeah.
Did you write that?
That was one that Johnny wrote.
I was gonna say it was probably one that Johnny wrote, because he writes some weird stuff.
He does write some weird stuff.
I mean, it's like a diminished arpeggio was like not like super crazy weird. It's just like phrasing it kind of differently. You take like something you're really familiar with, and you just tweak it a little bit. All of a sudden, you're like, why is this so difficult?
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
You know what I mean?
But it ends up being weird. So that's like one of the ones that kind of.
But it's fast in the song.
Yeah, it's about like, I'd say like.
Oh, okay.
So it's like moderately fast.
Yeah,
but
yeah, sure.
It can trip you up because it comes out of a weird part. It's like it comes out of a tremolo picking riff.
Right.
Oh, it goes So it's very weird.
Hey, this video is brought to you by sweetwatermusic.com. So when I was building this office, brand new office here, I needed a whole bunch of stuff, a new desk, new studio monitors, audio stuff, video stuff. I found everything at sweetwatermusic.com. In addition to music gear, they also stock Rode audio equipment and Blackmagic cameras. And it's just like everything that I need is all on just one website. So if you take a look at the link in the description, you'll find the list of gear that I use from sweetwatermusic.com. Go check it out. It supports the channel. Thank you so much. Also, this entire video has been transcribed by sheethappenspublishing.com. If you want to learn really cool music by Cannibal Corpse, Black Dahlia Murder, my band Archspire is on there. Check out the link in the description, sheethappenspublishing.com. Use my code REDEEM for 15% off at checkout. On to the video.
Yeah, and like halfway through the set, your like arms are kind of tired and you're kind of like messed up.
I'm like, that's So it's that's one that kind of can trip me up. A lot of the lead stuff does, like the one I did as an example, like the Tempest one. Like that one, especially the last two.
Yeah.
Because they're so quick, right?
Yeah, fives.
Yeah.
I do a lot of fives like that, and man, that's the hardest part of the set.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure you know, because like you're doing a lot of sweeps too, like during the set, and like.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the speeds you're doing is what, like 200 something sometimes.
It's I mean, I think that there's like something to do with the tempo markings that makes it 400, but I don't know. It's just like fast.
Yeah.
I would, if I was like tabbing it out, I would be like, oh, it's probably 200.
Yeah.
Which is really fast.
It's still really
But if you're thinking
fast,
about it in terms of blast beats, it's like, okay, well, maybe there's a relationship between the kick and the snare, and you actually notate it like 400. Mm-hmm. I don't know. We only have one song that's like that, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like when you're writing that kind of stuff, like it's like, that's like a lot of Jeff Loomisy kind of stuff. Is there like, are you because we all play the same shapes. Are you always looking for like that one shape, that one thing that no one's done before? Or does that really matter to you? Or is that like what goes through your head when you're trying to write something like that?
I mean, I guess yes and no, but I mean, I feel like everything's already been done before.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's really hard to be unique nowadays. I think it's more like, for me, what I kind of get a kick out of the most is writing like melodic lines that I feel like other people really haven't thought of.
Right.
Instead of like being more technical, it's like I find if you write more of like a singing melody part that you can kind of hum and stuff, I feel like that's more like catching than just shredding all the time.
The other guitar player in my band, Toby, he wrote, let's see if I can remember to play it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
Come on, dude. Like, I feel like trying to write the ultimate melody that gets stuck in your head is like an ultimate journey for me that I've been on for a long time. It's not necessarily trying to figure out something that's like super unique, just like a melody that just gets like drilled into your head.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll sit at the computer for hours and just try to write something. I think I wrote something actually the other day. I'll see if I could show. Well, I mean, hey, we're gonna do a little new riff. I don't know if it's gonna do. It might suck. I don't know. Who cares?
Share this. Let it go viral.
Yeah, the riff is. That kind of thing.
That's really cool.
Almost like classical kind of stuff. Yeah. Which I love so much, dude.
Yeah.
I love that sort of like it's got a swing to the whole thing is in 6/8, I think. It's just like I can hear the drums, I can hear the heaviness. But there is Necrophagus did it the best. They took classical music, especially like Prokofiev, like the Dance of the Nights, the end of Matt, what song is that?
Epitaph?
No.
What are you thinking of?
No, the end of the song
Oh yeah. Was it like Bach or something?
No, it's Prokofiev.
Oh,
it's a
it's
Russian director, a Russian composer.
Diminished to B?
Is that the one?
We don't know. We don't know what song
It's one
it is.
of them.
It's a song off Epitaph anyway. But they did it so well where they make, and you and I play an instrument that doesn't have, at least in the amount of gain that we use, the dynamic range that a cello or a full orchestra would have. You just have leagues of dynamics that we just do not have access to.
Yeah, there's a limit.
It's full, for me, I love guitar that's full on, big blocks of sound.
Yeah.
It's like on, and then the tap is shut off, and then it's just like a hard cut. I love that stuff. But there is something in me as well that really would love to do more dynamic kind of things. And Necrophagus did it really well by covering that one piece. Covering, I mean, they just like played it, but all on 6 or 7 string like down-tuned guitars, which is killer. Yeah. But there's just something you can't quite get with the guitar, at least with electric guitar dialed up to whatever gain level you play at, which I love. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That kind of thing I'm trying to like, I would love to take that and recreate the feeling that you would get to go see it at like, in concert with like an orchestra. Like, bro, that's so cool.
Yeah, and like when you have like a choir singing or something, that's like another dynamic thing too.
Yeah. So I mean, like the signal is so compressed. And I don't get me wrong, I love guitar, but I do have a bit of a kind of a wavering relationship with it where I think, man, guitar is so rad and there's so many people who have done amazing stuff with it. But if I listen to classical music or like concert music, I'll be like, but I can't do that. Yeah. It can't really do that. Yeah. It is one instrument versus like 100. So I mean, it's kind of unfair, but piano has something that's just like so dynamic and so like you can do these big wide intervallic stretches on piano that you'd like in a lot of cases you can't quite do that on guitar. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, where do you get some of the other influences? So you have like guitar players that you love. Yeah. Are you into movie soundtracks? Are you into video game soundtracks?
Yeah.
Like, what are you into?
Yeah, I mean, like some of my favorite plays are like Paul Gilbert, Eddie Van Halen, Jeff Loomis, and stuff like that, right? But
the men.
Yeah, I do like a lot of older like Super Nintendo kind of like old like Mega Man,
Castlevania.
Yeah, Castlevania. Yeah. Like all that kind of stuff. Like that's the stuff like I grew up on and like loved the the score, soundtrack, whatever.
Yeah.
Elden Ring has a great score.
Yeah.
All those like kind of medieval kind of sounding tracks are just always like,
Right.
they get me for some reason, but yeah.
They got you, dude.
Yeah, they got me.
Yeah, there is something really cool there. I also like the limitations that those early like 8-bit music composers had. They had to fit it into like 5 kilobytes. So they had to be so creative with the way that they would get those sounds in. It's like, okay, so this chipset doesn't have delay, so you have to mimic the sound of delay.
Yeah.
It's like, what? And they would spend hours just in a computer program trying to like program the sound. It's like, that's a whole different level of composer.
It's pretty crazy, yeah.
The stuff that you and I do, I find is, people might look at it and be like, wow, how do you write that? That's crazy. But like, it's also idiomatic to this instrument that we're playing. At least the stuff that I think you and I write. There are some people that use a bit more Guitar Pro, and they come up with these wacky shapes that like I would never have thought to play.
Oh yeah.
But somebody that's using a computer to program some chiptune song in 1989, it's like,
it's pretty next level
how are
stuff.
you even doing that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like legend. And then they'll come up with just banging melodies.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, okay, I only have 4 channels, and one of them has to be like replaced by the jump sound effect when Mario jumps. So like, I mean, the music for Mario is just like unreal.
It's pretty crazy,
dude.
yeah.
Oh my God.
It's iconic too, right?
Yeah,
So
dude,
everyone
yeah.
knows the theme song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's just banger after banger, dude.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I love that that kind of stuff. Really like harmonically dense too. Somebody forgot to turn off the AC.
Wow.
Hey Matt, you might turn off the AC. Thank you. Thanks. So are you? So when you were a kid, you were like getting jazzed up from these like video game songs.
Yeah.
Did you have like a musical family too?
It's kind of weird because like not really.
Yeah.
I have a cousin who plays bass in a band, and his brother's a drummer, but
Right.
they're like my second cousins.
Oh, okay.
So it's like I don't really see them too much. I see one of them more on tour now because he lives in like San Francisco.
Right.
But yeah, like no one really played an instrument. So like when I
yeah.
started playing guitar, it's kind of like weird.
Weird for the rest of your
Weird
family?
for the rest of the family because they're like, how are you
Oh, sure, yeah,
doing
right.
this? And
Okay, well, that's an interesting thing. How are you doing this?
yeah.
And what would you say?
I was like, I don't know. Because like when I started playing guitar, like YouTube didn't really exist either. It was like just starting to come out. Like you couldn't search for a song or somebody playing a song and slow it down.
Yeah, sure.
You kind of just had to figure it out. Guitar Pro wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you kind of had to like train your ear to figure out stuff. So I tried to figure out a lot of stuff, which was really good for ear training back then.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
A lot of instructional DVDs were like the only thing that was like readily available.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So yeah, and I guess I just, luckily picked up on a lot of stuff early on and was like absorbing all this information and like,
But like,
oh, that's how you do
why
that.
guitar though?
I don't know. I mean, like, so I originally wanted to be a drummer, and then I saw
Oh,
a
hell yeah.
video. I saw a video of Eddie Van Halen playing, and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, "That's the craziest thing
Yeah,
I've ever seen."
yeah,
So,
sick.
so yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure like that's me and a million other guitar players like
Yeah.
say the same thing, but yeah, he was the one that really like kind of changed it for me, and I was like, I want to do that, and like seeing, him playing on stage in front of like
Yeah.
a massive crowd, I was like,
Yeah.
that'd be really cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I mean, it is pretty cool to imagine that. Not that I'm like, yeah, playing on stage in front of a bunch of people is really cool. That's not what I was saying. It is cool to like be a kid and see that and be like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I think that there's also, and this goes away as you get older, I think, or maybe I'm just like maybe it just as you get older, just automatically become more jaded. But the magic of the instrument is harder to find. You find like, when you're a kid, everything that you hear by crazy shredders, you're like, there is infinite magic on the instrument. There's so much stuff that I don't get. How does music theory work? How do techniques work? How does songwriting work? All that stuff. And then, how long have you been playing guitar now?
Since I was like 13, I'm 32 now.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So quite
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah. So I've been playing for I've been playing for maybe like 23 years. You've been playing for just about 20 years.
Yeah.
You start to lose. You can't find the magic as readily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a little harder to find stuff that is more like wow
Yeah,
nowadays.
yeah. And I mean, obviously there are. Like, I mean, Guthrie Govan, Tosin Abasi, Tim Henson, Jason Richardson. There are modern guitar players that are playing crazy stuff. And you can even still go back to the 80s and 90s and just see insane stuff. And that's what's so cool about guitar too.
Yeah.
It has aged in a way where you still see high level as fuck shredding in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Like insane stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff that I couldn't dream of playing. But there still is that sort of like you watch somebody play and you're like, well, I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because there's
totally.
something so cool about not getting it. Which is interesting that you started wanting to be a drummer, but then you switched over to guitar.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's so much like magic out there that just makes you feel like holy shit. And I still get it sometimes. I was watching a video of Tosin Abasi explaining his thumping technique the other day, and I was sitting there trying to do it, and I've done a little bit of it.
Yeah.
But bro, he does this thing where he's like, and I'm just gonna, don't mind me, I'll just butcher it.
I can't even attempt it, so.
He was like, okay. So he was like, you need a thumbnail, a little bit of a thumbnail, and I have a bit of a thumbnail. And he was like, get the kind of the low, just the alternate picking with thumb. And then he's like, then add a finger. I was like, okay. And then he's like, and then you can start to add some other stuff. And he started adding 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, alternating patterns, like double the speed that I just played.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It sounds like flamenco, but like crazy.
what even is that?
Yeah.
Like I'm not even like in the same universe.
He's like almost like, but with like thumping, right?
Did he play Bleed from Meshuggah?
Yeah, like
with
that's-
his thumping.
That's ridiculous.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Like, and this is like a couple years ago. This is like not new for him. He's like, yeah, that's the thing he does. What?
Yeah.
Bro, it's
Yeah,
so
he does.
cool.
He does that. Yeah, he does that, and he does that thing where he like hammers on too, like in physical education.
yeah.
Like that whole like middle section is like one of the coolest things I've heard.
Yeah.
In like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
Were you doing like selective picking?
Yeah, where he's doing like that, and he's like I can't.
Can you play it?
No, not at all.
It's just look
Yeah.
at you're like about to play. You're like,
Yeah.
it's like kind of like this. You play perfectly.
Yeah, no, but like I remember like seeing that and like hearing that, and I was like, how could he do this? And then saw a video of him doing it, and it's
Bro.
just like,
Bro.
that's one of those moments again. Like I was like, what the hell is this?
What the hell is that?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there is still like that sort of magical kind of feeling out there.
yeah,
It's a little bit harder to pick through.
Mm-hmm.
I think that also there's, because like you said that your family was like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think I had probably the same kind of thing. Although, like my mom, I would force her to listen to me play guitar when I was a kid. I don't think she liked listening to it, but I mean, I forced her to do it anyway. Look, dude, check this out. And I would go to music stores and try to play in front of people as much as possible. But the idea that you have an innate ability to do something like this is just like, to me, the idea of talent isn't really a thing. It's like you have a certain type of brain that likes solving a certain kind of puzzle, and it just so happens that you and I have a brain that likes solving guitar.
Yeah.
And we like solving it separately, differently. You and I have different methods on how to, but our brain just gets satisfied. You get like brain tingles from being able to do. You can't play something and then all of a sudden you can. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I solved the puzzle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like really basic kind of stuff.
yeah,
I guess you could call that talent, but talent implies that you were born being able to do something.
yeah. That makes sense.
And
yeah.
that feels like an unfair cast aside of all of the time and effort that it takes to play guitar.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like something you just kind of. It's more of like you're exercising your brain, and it's like a muscle that you're exercising, and you're getting better at.
Yeah.
The instrument.
Yeah, I mean, like
Right.
some people say, I wish I could play guitar. It's like, well, you don't actually.
Yeah.
Because if you did, then you would.
Yeah.
If you wished you'd play it. Then it's like, okay, well, if you got the same satisfaction level from solving the puzzle of the guitar that you did painting, or that you did, learning how to, I don't know, do accounting or doing mathematics or whatever. If you had that kind of brain, then you would just have done it.
Yeah.
I mean, there is luck involved. It just so happens that you and I both found the instrument that we like a lot.
Yeah.
And it could have been drums for you too. I mean,
could have been, yeah.
for me, I played bass for a while.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was cool. Guitar was always kind of my thing, and maybe there's like a combination of me being, I want to play for people, and lead guitar has a certain something about it that allows you to be up in the front and playing.
Yeah.
It's
It's almost like your vocals are coming through in a different
Yeah,
way. 'Cause,
yeah.
like, I don't know about you. I'm not like a great singer or anything, so I
heard you sing earlier. It was really good. It was
okay,
really,
well,
I heard
yeah,
your
in the
beautiful
bathroom,
voice. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. I would have my ear pressed against the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were taking a shower for some reason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to be clean.
Yeah, I didn't even know we had a shower here, but you were taking a shower. You came out naked anyway, so yeah. There is a vocal element to it, and there's actually, speaking of Tosin, there's really cool stuff that he does. He actually, if you listen closely in a lot of the albums, him or Steve Vai or Joe Satriani or John Petrucci, all like the virtuoso guys, they add an element of vocal sound to their guitar, whether it's wah pedal or whatever. And I think that's so intentional because they're trying to relate playing instrumental music to people that might listen to vocal-driven music.
Yeah.
Vocal-driven music is obviously a million times more popular.
Yeah.
Guitar
I think
instrument.
it always will be.
It
too.
always will be. Yeah. The human voice is so captivating to listen to when it's done effectively and with passion and with like intent behind it. Guitar just didn't really, very popular instrument, but it didn't really get there, and I don't think it ever really will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have some outliers, but none of them are as well known as. I mean, here's a great example. Every deathcore band you and I listen to, the vocalist is the star of the show.
Yeah, that's true.
It's wild.
Yeah, I mean the biggest bands in the genre right now are literally vocal-driven, like insane vocalists.
Slaughter Prevail and Lorna Shore.
Lorna Shore, yeah. And they're both amazing vocalists, and like, I mean, Adam's also a crazy guitar player.
Dude, everybody in that band is crazy.
Everybody in the band is crazy.
Everybody in that band's crazy.
But I mean, like, people go.
I mean, you toured with them.
Yeah, they're great dudes. I love those guys. And but I mean, yeah, like everybody wants to see Will do like a certain part of you know, To the Hellfire. That's like the shining moment of the show. Everyone wants to see that, and it's like, I mean, that says something too for that genre and style of music too. And I mean, like, same with like, you know, tech bands like you guys. Everyone wants to see you play, or like you, or like the drums.
I don't know what people like about my band, so I don't know if I would go that far. I don't know what they like. I don't even think most people do like my band. I would say, I'm telling you right now that most people do not. Yeah.
But I mean, people want to see the drums go crazy. They want to see you do like crazy fast sweeps. Like people are like Ollie, like spitting crazy fast vocals. That's like, I feel like that is an element of that genre, like style of music too. And it's like, it's something people are drawn to and want to go and see live because they're like, oh, there's no way they can do this. And they go see it and they're like, oh my God.
They're like, oh my God, I want my money back.
well, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Tickets for how much? Oh, they're only $5. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Well, it's just funny that deathcore, specifically deathcore vocalists are just, and I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but it is, the human voice is just so much more something.
Yeah.
You know, there's just something to it. But yeah, I mean, I love it. I mean, the musicianship behind a lot of that stuff is crazy. Yeah, like you said, Adam is just like a nutso guitar player, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah, he writes some really cool melodies as well.
Yeah. I was trying to write some stuff kind of like him because I'm jealous of the success, and also I just really like his guitar playing style. But I can't quite do it because he does this, and I have a video up on my channel where my wife and I learned some Lorna Shore riffs, and I don't remember any of them because I didn't really learn them. I mean, we tried, but we did our best. But I wanted to get into this sort of style of this. He does a lot of stuff where it's like high note and then a few low notes in a row. But he does it so fast, and I can't quite do it that fast. So I came up with kind of a way around it. Doing hybrid picking.
That's cool.
So it actually came from me starting to do, I wrote this riff. I don't remember where the hell it is. That's the basis of it. So I'm basically doing like,
that's cool.
So really fast. Dig it.
Like it's almost like, you know, the Cliffs of Dover thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm really terrible at hybrid
play it
phase.
perfectly.
What is it? What is it?
Right,
thing?
yeah.
I'm terrible at that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's
you know,
like that, but you're doing multiple notes in the low string.
Yeah. Whereas like I would literally like you were talking about like doing
Yeah.
like I would like pick it, but
yeah,
like
of course. Yeah.
like something like that. But yeah, I pick it, so like something like that where whatever doing that, but I pick down twice.
Why?
I don't
Why
know.
do you pick down
I've always done that.
Can you slow down?
This is always the way I've done that for
Why
like riffs.
do you do that? Is there like a speed ceiling for you that's like pretty, I mean, it sounds like pretty comfortable.
I think it's just like a comfort thing. Like
Well, it
it's
definitely
weird.
sounds good.
It's like, but it's weird because like most of the playing
That's
that I do is
interesting.
alternate picking,
Yeah, no, I've
like
noticed,
which is
yeah.
weird, right? So like that's like a thing with like riffs and stuff. If I was going like,
Doesn't that
like
gas you out?
no,
Okay, so we're playing something simple.
so
High note, 3 notes on the bottom. Okay, so would you change if you're doing 3 notes on the bottom rather than just 2?
yeah,
Okay, so it's just about the 3 notes on the total. So 1 on the high string and then 2 in the low.
yeah.
So
But I would otherwise go.
I would probably alternate pick it.
Yeah. It's really weird for me to do that.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
for some reason, it's just the 2.
Well, it definitely, like I said, it definitely sounds really good. Like you get the consistency of the downstrokes.
The upstroke, yeah.
Well, that too.
But I could do that, and it's like not gassing at all.
So what if you took the same thing and you seesaw back and forth and do 2-way pick sliding? So two notes on the bottom.
Like
So-
that. That's, you see, that feels so weird for me. Yeah, it's like it's so weird for me.
Okay, so here's where I got that. Doing that is technical difficulties.
Oh yeah.
That's
It's funny.
the wrong key. But
I would literally play it like this, like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so
That's
it's so
interesting.
weird for me to do that. I think it was from like learning like Trivium songs as a kid.
Oh, you
And, like-
crazy right-hand stuff with
like,
Trivium.
yeah, like
Damn.
Like when he would do, there's a riff, I think is. That's like in Ascendancy, I think it is.
Yes.
So it's like that kind of stuff. and then-
Downstroke on the high string? Or are you doing
I do
upstrokes?
up.
Oh, you're doing up.
Oh
okay.
no, I'm doing down. Right?
Yeah, it looks like down, yeah.
Yeah. So but it was like learning stuff like that, like.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Right? So that's
yeah.
how I kind of like developed that, and it's like super weird. Same with my pinch harmonics, right?
We don't have enough time to get into your pinch harmonics. We don't have enough time to get into the whatever you're doing there.
I'm doing it with my ring finger nail.
Well, I guess you get a benefit of getting really high pinch harmonics.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It sounds signature. It sounds unique. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I had to, like if I wanted to get something high, I would have to go real far back.
Yeah.
When I do it, I lean my hand back.
Yeah.
I think that everybody does them a little bit differently, which is kind of
do.
weird.
Yeah.
Like I've seen guys doing just right on the edge of their thumb just like that, which I find really
Crazy.
scary.
Yeah.
Well, let's not. You're doing it crazy. That's crazy. You're doing it crazy. So like, where'd you learn that, by the way?
Well, I could never do it with my thumb. I just didn't understand how that worked. I was like, I still can't do it. So I was like, oh, how do I?
Yeah.
Right. So I like literally.
It's the most frustratingly inconsistent technique that there is.
Yeah.
It's so inconsistent, and like you'll put in. I mean, we have a part. We have a part in our set that had, and you do a pinch harmonic by yourself. I do one. And I have to nail it. And if I don't nail it, I just look like a total asshole on stage. It's just me literally by myself, not playing anything.
And then you whiff it and you're like, yes.
Yeah. At least it's good to have fun.
Yeah.
It's like whatever. If you fuck it up, it's all good.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to do this thing the last few years that maybe you can incorporate is every time I do a pinch harmonic, I try to wink at somebody in the audience.
Oh, yeah.
So you could try that. That might, because, you know, you might change up your technique a little bit. It's kind of cool.
Be, yeah.
Plus, then you could get a bunch of dudes' phone numbers after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I really like the sound of your right hand, too. Some of those, like, galloping kind of... Yeah, what? Okay, give me a cool pattern.
Okay, well, so just do like the B here. So one I like to do a lot is like, right?
Okay, I'm in the wrong tuning. Here, hold on. Let me just... Okay.
Okay, so it's just like a simpler one to do, like starting off with like 1, 2, 3.
See, I would just alternate picking. But yours sounds...
It's like, I try to be aggressive with it.
Yours sounds way better. I think I might just be lazier than you.
Or just, we're just different.
I think that's the thing, because if you're doing...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean... I could get it, but it's not the same, the velocity, like the picking, like it's just not, it's not quite as aggressive. I guess what you're doing too is you're not actually doing, okay, what you're doing is this.
Yeah.
But you're just taking out the upstrokes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But even if you do like double, say you do like double triplets, so like,
yeah,
almost like bleed, right? I try and accent that down really aggressively.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So when you guys are recording, are you the gallop picking guy?
We kind of all just like do it. I mean, like Johnny's really good with that stuff too. Colton's like the trem guy. Colton's like the trem king. His trems sound like they're like Guitar Pro.
Oh, that's cool.
So like his trems are, he's got like that like bumblebee
perfect.
sound.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's cool.
So like, he's like really good at that. Johnny is like, you know, we're all good at different things.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we all kind of like do different things when we're recording and stuff like that. Usually I'm doing the pinch harmonics, funny enough.
Oh yeah.
So
well,
like if we
they
do,
sound great.
They,
you know,
they sound like really
good.
weird. They're like. Yeah, they're really, I don't know, but usually on the records, like if you hear pinch harmonics, like 90% of them I'm doing.
Yeah, right. That might be something that people don't really know too, is like in the studio, you don't typically record guy B and girl A. I don't know why I said guy B. The guitar players are not like on opposite sides of the stereo mix at all times.
Yeah.
Typically, at least what we do is like, this guy plays both those riffs on the other side, and then the next guy will play the next one that he's better at, and you kind of switch back and forth. You're like, hey, I'm sitting here, I'm playing this riff, I've been playing for 10 minutes, let me just quickly track both sides.
Yeah.
Because it'll sound tighter.
Yeah.
We made that mistake with our very first album where we both tracked, the double tracking was done by either one of us. I'm like, okay, I'll play this riff, but you also play it, and then we'll mix it together. It's like, bro, that sounds terrible. What the hell were we thinking? It's like just, I think maybe it was... well, we both want to be on the song. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it'll even out in the end. I mean, by the time you get to the end of the album, you're like, man, we both kind of played half and half.
Yeah.
But it does just speed things up so much, just keeping it like the ego out of it. Being who's better at this riff? That person should record both sides of it right now.
That's what we've done too, where we've had like Colton record entire songs because it's like something he's written and he can play it better than Johnny and I are. Same with Johnny, and like there's certain riffs that I can do like tighter with like, you know, just accent notes or whatever, and they'll get me to do that as well. So it's kind of like whatever. At the end of the day, if you get like a good product and you get a good sounding record, that's really all that matters.
Yeah. Are you guys so you guys are going on tour soon? Yeah. You guys are putting out new music.
Putting out a new record sometime next year.
Sometime next year as in 2025?
2025.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and then, we're doing Black Dahlia, Dying Fetus, Spite, Vomit Forth, which is probably, I'm going to be on that tour at the point of this
I
video
think so.
being
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's a very exciting tour.
Yeah.
I mean, all great bands.
Yeah, all great bands. We've toured with Dahlia and Dying Fetus before in 2017, so it's like kind of a nice little reunion to see those guys. Yeah,
I remember that. Was that just the same? All three of the bands were on the same tour?
Yeah, it was Summer Slaughter 2017.
Right. Okay, I remember. I can see the poster in my head.
Yeah.
How weird is that? You can like capture the poster in your head. I wasn't even on the tour. I remember it. I don't know. Maybe I need to get off Instagram or something. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me, buddy.
Thank you too.
If you want to check out workouts from Matt, they're all over my Patreon. I'll also have probably one up on my YouTube channel. And go check out his band on tour. Angelmaker will be on tour with Dying Fetus and Black Dahlia Murder and some other bands. And Spite.
Spite is on there too. Yeah.
Very soon, probably when this video comes out. And if not, then you missed it.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
It's fine. You'll go next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Thank you.